From drag shows to playwriting and art with a social message, a young Tiwi Islander is making a name for himself around Australia. Jason DeSantis' talent for breathing new life into Tiwi traditions and making his work accessible to everyone has him tipped as an artist with a very big future. Claire Mackey reports.
Jason DeSantis has made a name for himself strutting the Darwin stage as his colourful alter ego, Foxy Empire. His cheeky performances are often political satire, full of attitude, charming local audiences.
If I can't laugh every day, I can't cope. Like, I really can't. So, yeah, I'm always looking for an opportunity to make a joke out of something or someone or...
But while Jason DeSantis' on-stage talent is obvious, there's more to this young Tiwi Island man than his flair for a colourful performance.
It's pretty rare to find a talent like Jason so young and in such a remote location. He's very well trained, well read, well travelled, and just an all-round exciting and enjoyable person to work with.
I think there's a huge future for him, both within Australia and all over the world.
So you know how your mum and dad or, you know, your teachers read you those stories?
Now Jason DeSantis is seeking a new challenge away from the spotlight. He's reinventing himself in the role of savvy young Indigenous playwright. He's already written his first work.
I was just overwhelmed by the amount of interest that, you know, white Australia has in our fight for survival. And so I thought, well, I'll combine a story that white people know with a story that black people know, and then boom, you get a story that we both know.
I don't know. I've never seen green butterfly before.
Different country, different animal.
Well, where your country? Properly one.
Long way from here, darling.
The play is currently in development. Here at the Darwin Botanic Gardens, it's being tested on a group of school students.
Well, Amanayu in the Seven Pamanui is about a young girl, her story of self-discovery.
One day you can teach me how to make lovely big damper.
It kind of echoes the tale of Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs and draws on the parallels between Dreamtime stories and the stories of the Grimm's brothers.
I've been go hunting for every day, but nothing.
It's in English, it's in language, in song and dance, in poetry, in rhyme. So it uses all of those theatrical elements to encapsulate the child's imagination.
Let's turn this world to darkness.
That's the thing that I'm really most nervous about, you know, my countrymen taking on board this new story. But I think it actually gives our culture, a breath of fresh air as well.
Wherever this clever daughter may go, lurks the evil and cunning spirit dingo.
The play's being co-produced by the Darwin Festival and the Come Out Youth Festival. And Jason DeSantis says the process has given him an even greater love of Tiwi culture.
My grandmother had it ripped away from her from a young age, even though she did grow up in the Mission Island. So I guess, you know, as a grandchild of hers, I feel it's just, you know, the most essential part of my well-being, knowing who I am and where I'm from.
I'll say to you, mob, Pupani Tapanari, Awangana.
But melding the two cultures on stage has been a challenge. The cast has had to master some of the Tiwi language.
Pupani tapanari. Pupani tapanari nia pupaka.
Fans of Jason DeSantis say he has a flair for making traditional Aboriginal culture accessible.
I think he's got a huge role to play because he's got that great ability to cut through with his honesty and with his humour. And I think that certainly from my colleagues overseas, that there's a huge desire to hear these stories overseas.
One aspect of Jason DeSantis' life that's about to become more accessible is his role with the Sistergirls. The Tiwi men who dress as women are the subject of a new photographic exhibition.
They're transgender men, and you know, and I'm a huge believer in the third gender. I don't think that, you know, your gender is determined by your anatomy. I think that it can very much be determined by your soul.
For in this world no tricks to eyes, animals, spirits and Pamanui shall surprise.
Willamanayu and the Seven Pamanui will premiere next year, marking another milestone in the glittering career of Jason DeSantis.
Hey, you, stop blinking.
Art is meant to represent something, and to me, if it doesn't represent something or doesn't have meaning, then that art doesn't have a soul. And I always see my art as a living, breathing thing.
Claire Mackey reporting.